The childhood of the Kauravas and the Pandavas. King Pandu of Hastinapur was forced to spend his days in the Himalayan forests doing penance, following the Rishi Kindam's curse. Pandu, Kunti, and Madri spent their forest life in happiness, content to watch their 5 children grow up. But it was not to last. One afternoon, Madri was busy drawing water from the river in the forest. While trying to help her, Pandu accidentally touched her. The Rishi's curse took immediate effect, and Pandu collapsed upon the ground in great agony. And lo, he had breathed his last. Both Kunti and Madri began weeping over the body of their dead husband. The Rishis of the ashram reached the spot. They duly performed the last rites of the departed king of Hastinapur. When the funeral pyre was lit, Madri, resolving to join her husband, jumped into the fire and became a sati. The Rishis then set out with Kunti and her young children, carrying the urns that contained the ashes of the late Pandu and Madri. They reached Hastinapur and met Bhishma, Dhritarashtra, Gandhari and Vidur. Kunti stepped forward along with her 5 sons and touched the feet of the grandsire. Bhishma took her and the 5 kids to Pandu's palace. Bhishma then duly arranged for Vedic sanskars of the 5 Pandavas that included their Upanayan and their education in statecraft and warfare. The Pandavas now began to grow up in Hastinapur. They soon earned the affection and respect of all. Duryodhan never liked the Pandavas coming to Hastinapur and residing in Pandu's palace. His brother Dushasan and his maternal uncle Shakuni not only encouraged him in his enmity with the Pandavas, but was also the mastermind of many evil plots against them. The Kauravas and the Pandavas started growing up together and undergoing their learning. But the 5 Pandavas soon excelled the rest of their 100 cousins. Duryodhan now began to plot somehow to remove the Pandavas from his path. He wanted to finish Bhim. One day, Duryodhan approached his father Dhritarashtra and obtained permission to go on a picnic. The princes indulged in games and fun throughout the day and were very tired towards the later part of the afternoon. Bhim in particular was dying of hunger. The princes sat down to eat. Duryodhan had arranged special dishes for Bhim, who was more than pleased to find his favorite dishes and sweet meats ready for him. But when he got up, he started feeling drowsy. Duryodhan had mixed deadly poison in his food. Yudhishthir and his brothers were kept busy in games by the other Kauravas and were unaware of the evil play. Seizing the opportunity, Duryodhan, Dushasan and their brothers tied the sleeping Bhim tightly with ropes and dragged him to the banks of the river and threw him into water. Bhim, who was poisoned through food and bound by ropes to be thrown into the Ganga, landed in the world of the Nagas. On his way down, venomous serpents in the water attacked and bit him. But this proved to be a blessing in disguise for him, because the venom of the snakes was a perfect antidote for the poison that had entered his body. Bhim regained consciousness even as he fell deeper and deeper. Using his superhuman strength, he easily broke the bonds that Duryodhan and his evil brothers had tied him. Vasuki, the king of the serpents, accompanied by a very old Naga named Aryak, reached there. Aryak recognized Bhim and told him that he was his great maternal grandfather. He then told Vasuki, "O king of Nagas, give our divine nectar to Bhim." Accordingly, Vasuki ordered the serpent's divine nectar, which was brought forth in huge drums. Bhim gulped down 8 of these huge drums. He then slept soundly for 8 days. After he awoke, Vasuki told him, "Bhim, you are indeed fortunate to have consumed divine nectar that is not available for the humans. You now possess the strength of 10,000 elephants. No one can ever equal you in physical might. Vasuki arranged for Bhim to be taken to the very spot from where Bhim was thrown into the Ganga. Bhim then found his way back to Hastinapur, meeting his mother and brothers, who were fearing for the worst. Their joy knew no bounds when they saw Bhim return alive. Thus, the struggle of the Pandavas for survival and honor began right from their childhood.